Okay, something a little bit different today on this channel. First time ever hosting like a more of a podcast type interview, if you like. I've got Donovan with me, who is my marketer, and been working with you since about May.
Yeah.
So far, going really well. So I thought I'd invite you on just to talk a bit about marketing, help people understand the importance of marketing, and yeah, if you can give them any tips, and obviously we'll link some stuff in the comments section or the description below to send them your way as well, and then hopefully people can get your advice and who knows, maybe work with you in the future as well.
Awesome. Well, first, I appreciate being the first on here. That must be a good sign.
Yes, yeah, first of many.
And secondly, I'm hoping that our conversation can actually help people when it comes to marketing, because I know it's something that confuses some people.
Yes, very much so. Myself included right at the start. I got my head around it a little bit, but then it got to the stage where it's never been something I like doing, and I think people that even get to grips with the marketing, it's never their fun task to be doing. So when you get to the stage where you can start handing jobs off, that's probably one of the first ones that want to go, because I find it's more the constant changing in the way Facebook operates and the algorithms operate. It's not like you can go, I've learnt this, done.
Yeah.
So you're constantly having to relearn, and when you're obviously running schools and running businesses, it's quite difficult to then reset back to stage one, relearn it all again. So if you've got someone like yourself that is on the ball and that is your purpose to make sure you're ahead of the game, it just takes the pressure off us, and we can focus on the tasks that really are important to us rather than having to relearn the marketing game every time. So
I think you did it the right way though, like in the sense of a lot of martial arts learners hate marketing. And they think their answer is for someone else to just do it for them. And it sounds really strange because obviously I'm a marketer, but I think it is important that you at least understand it before you give it to someone else. And I think that's why a lot of our services are more geared towards teaching people to do it, because if you didn't know how to do it and then you started working with us and we got terrible results, we can just bullshit you and say, no, Dean, the results come 12 months down the line. We're just getting the impressions at the moment, and then further down we're going to start getting results. And I hear a lot of marketers saying that to martial arts learners. So I think it is good for you to do the tasks that you don't necessarily want to do, learn how to do it, and then when you do pass it on to someone else, they can't like
yes, because you've got a basic understanding, and you're like, hang on a minute, this doesn't sound right, this is not what's happened to me. I get that, totally agree. It's a very good point. You often, when I've been building the business, I find that people are looking for that can you do it for me service all the time before they've even really looked at it or even given it a go. And like you say, if you give it off to someone else, you don't know if they're doing a good job or a bad job, because you've not even figured out the basics of it, basics understanding. So they could rightly be like, oh yeah, this is exactly the process, and then just get money at you for 12 months and you still get no results. So.
No, you need to be able to arm yourself. And then obviously with marketing as well, like the harder part of marketing isn't the Facebook ads. The harder part's obviously following up with people, getting them booked in, things like that. And I don't know about you, but I hate calling leads. Like I hate it. It doesn't matter who it is, it doesn't matter if it's a martial arts learner who's told us they really want to work with us. The idea of picking up the phone and just calling them when they haven't even asked me to call them and have a chat with them, it's not a nice thought.
Yes.
But I force myself to do it, and then now that I've got team members who do that for us, I can teach them how to do it, and I can show them the wrong ways to do it and the right ways to do it, and fix the process for them. And it's the same with that as well. Like a lot of martial arts learners don't want to then call the people who are interested, but you've got to force yourself to do it, because then when you do bring on someone else to do that job for you, you can teach them how to do it. And it's the same with like everything in business as a martial arts learner, isn't it? Every task that you have, you need to do it yourself first, try it yourself, and then it means that if you do go to an agency to do it for you, you can at least, they can't pull the wool over your eyes, and you can make sure that they're doing it properly.
Okay, so to get us started, let's have a little bit of an intro from yourself, because I know a little bit about you. I've been following you for quite a long time. Even before I started working with you, I was following your socials, and I knew your name, and it was coming up in the circles that I was working in. But it was really me watching your free channels and your social media that really put me onto you. And I thought, do you know what, this guy's he's switched on. He's a decent guy. I want to give you a try. So if you could give us a little intro about yourself, like if you've got any martial arts background, I know you do, but let the people know, and also how you got into marketing and why that became your focus?
So it's not the most exciting story. So I've done kickboxing since I was 5. Probably the same way a lot of people got into their martial arts. My dad just took me one day and was like, this is where you're training. Luckily for me, the kickboxing club that I went to was actually pretty good. The guy who runs it's called Garth Porter, and he's very good at what he does, to be fair. And then I went on to fight in full contact kickboxing. Did really well, to be fair. Had 9 fights, not including tournaments. Won them all. Did really, really well. I was very arrogant when I was a fighter, so I thought I could have beat anyone, and I could have trained, and I could have gone on to beat anyone. But then I had to stop because when COVID hit, it meant fights weren't happening, which meant I was training for fights, they weren't happening. Then I was training for the next fight, that weren't happening. I was training for this fight. Someone was supposed to fly over from France to fight me a week before I got the call to say it weren't happening. And by that point, I'd done 3 camps. None of them had led to a fight.
Frustrating.
So I'd waited like 18 weeks to do nothing. At the same, not the same sort of time as that, a couple of years before that, I weren't enjoying my full-time job, let's say. And it weren't that the job was horrible, but it was just not. I was driving a forklift like day to day. It weren't what I felt like I was put on the planet to do. So I was scrolling through Facebook, funnily enough, one night, and an ad came up, and it was someone talking about how a business model that's really, really good is marketing, and specifically running Facebook ads for different businesses. And I was like, I'm gonna have a look at that. I paid like £1,000 or something for this course, £1,000 that I didn't have for this course. Went and learned how to do marketing. And I thought to myself, well, I like martial arts. This marketing stuff actually genuinely looks interesting. I've always liked maths and things. And when you're looking at the Facebook Ads Manager, you know, looking at the cost per leads, the click-through rates, all that stuff, I actually do genuinely enjoy it. And I thought, well, I'm gonna try and merge martial arts and merge, you know, marketing together. And let's see what happens. So I put both of them together, started reaching out to some of the martial arts schools that I knew in the space, started doing marketing for them. It started working. I remember I was sitting having dinner with my fiance one time, and a lead come through for one of the first schools that I'd ever worked with. And I was like, oh, it's actually working. Look, a lead just came through, someone that can call and book it. And I was over the moon. And then from there, it just snowballed. And I've been doing that now for like the last 5 or 6 years, just only working with martial arts schools. So we're refining constantly what works specifically for martial arts schools. So if you were a plumber and you come over to me and you were like, how can I run Facebook ads? I could tell you the basics. But we're specifically dialed in just for martial arts schools. And it's because I actually like martial arts school owners. I can sit down and talk to you like this. Gym owners and other businesses where I've spoke to them, and some people are more arrogant, not open to having conversations and things. I didn't like talking to them as much. Martial arts, fucking love it. So that's what I kind of did. I merged them together. It's not the most exciting story, but that's what kind of happened.
Yeah, so I think as well, certainly from a traditional background, that's where I started. I started in a martial art called Tang Soo Do, and it was very closed doors. It's like, we can't tell people about this. There's no posting videos, there's no advertising, and they were solely relying on people walking past and just seeing through the door, or a flyer in the foyer of the gym or the sports centre.
Yeah.
And like, I've made a video about this before, like, if people don't know where you are, like, they're not going to come to you.
No.
And it's so hard relying on people just to walk past and go, oh, what's that? I'll give that a go. And I think a lot of, especially if you've come through that traditional background, a lot of people don't have that knowledge of marketing, or even the understanding that they need to put themselves out there, because it is very much like close chest. Don't tell anyone about it. Whereas I think the more modern the martial arts gets, like gyms, full-time facilities and stuff, they're starting to understand and realise that they need to be putting their name out there, and like using people like yourself to help them get the message out there, because it's probably the most important thing when you're running a school.
But what's most painful as well is a lot of the club owners who go, I'm not going to advertise, I'm not going to market and all that. They'll also then complain that there's a club down the road that teaches shit martial arts, doesn't know what they're talking about. All they've got is, I was speaking to someone the other day, and he was like, well, there's a club down the road from me. The woman who teaches it is a PE teacher. She doesn't even know anything about martial arts, but they've got more students than us. Yeah. And it makes me angry. And I'm like, well, what are you doing marketing-wise? Nothing.
Yeah.
What do you expect? What are they doing marketing-wise? Everything.
Yeah.
So it's also about, if you look at other clubs and it annoys you how successful they're being, it's also about looking at what are you not doing. Yeah. Like that Tang Soo Do club, I bet, obviously I don't know it, but I bet the instructor did himself on what he taught or what they taught was really, really good and really, really high level. And it's a shame that what they taught didn't reach more people because more people would have benefited from it. And if you're not advertising, like even you, like if you're not advertising, the people in this area who you actually care about are going to see the advertisements for the shit club and go and train there instead, which means their child's going to get a bad taste of martial arts. They're going to get a bad taste of martial arts. And it's not the other club's fault. It's your fault for not figuring out how to advertise yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And a really important point you say there, that bad taste may be the only taste they have.
Yeah.
If they go to a bad school or a bad environment, they have a bad experience, not even in traditional sense, like you go to a Muay Thai gym, you go to a BJJ gym, you get beat up on that first session because they don't have the right community, they don't have the right kind of sort of ethics at the gym, and they're like, this is what they're all like.
Yes.
And that's not true, and that's so sad that so many people miss out on the benefits, because I've done martial arts the same as you since I was 5, and I put everything down to that I've learned along the way more than school. It's my martial arts training, to fight for everything, to work hard, to give me confidence to speak. I was doing warm-ups when I was 18 in front of rooms full of adults. Like, it's given me the confidence that I've carried through all my working life, everything. And if you go to that one school, you have that one bad episode and you go, never again.
Yeah.
They miss out on so much benefit, and it's so sad that that happens. And you're right, like if it's the person that's providing that really perfect community, perfect ethics in the gym, and they don't tell people, they can only blame themselves.
You can only take accountability, can't you? And the other side of it as well, there's going to be kids that go to that other club, they'll fly through the belt ranks, they'll get to black belt, and they'll be like 6 years old, can't throw a spinning side kick or whatever, and it's kickboxing. And then eventually their parents will go, right, something's not right here, you're not getting any better, let's take you to another club. They'll take them to that other club. And then when they get to that other club, the other club's going to be like, okay, you're not black belt level, we're going to bring you back down to this, and then we're going to slowly progress you. That's going to break the kid's heart, and then the kid's not even going to stay. So it breaks them in that way as well. Point is, you can't control what other people are doing. The other clubs actually are advertising. You can only control what you're doing. So advertise better than them. If your product really is better than theirs, then advertise the fact. Do you know what I mean? And show everybody how good the martial arts is that you're doing in your club. And you're going to have more people actually come down and join instead of going to the crap club.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of answered it in that little bit there, but my next question to you is what is the importance of marketing? Like I say, we kind of covered it there pretty well, but if you was to put kind of on a scale of 1 to 10 the priority of marketing in your business or in a business, where would you rank that?
Obviously I'm biased, so I'm going to put it high up the list, but I think the number one most important thing first is having a service that actually is good. Because if no one's going to stay, there's no point marketing to get people through the door. Retention and retaining the members is way more important than marketing to begin with. Because as I say to a lot of people, which once again shocks them because I'm a marketer, is if you're not retaining people, do not advertise, because all you're doing then is putting water into a bucket that has holes in it. Like, people are literally going to come through and then they're just going to disappear. And you're not going to make the money back from your marketing because they're not actually staying to be able to continue giving you money. So the first thing I'd say is make sure your service is actually good, because you'll be shocked at how many people tell me that what they do is good. We get loads of people through the door for them. People join, but then they don't stay. And it's not because of the marketing, it's not because of bad quality leads, it's because what you're teaching is actually a bit crap. and you need to get better at that side of things. And when I say crap, I don't mean the martial arts is crap, I mean how a brand new person takes to it might be crap. So
that
if you're
onboarding process.
Exactly. If you're a Thai boxing gym, you know, I remember when I used to kickboxing, if you were 15, 16 years old, when you join, you just get straight into sparring and let's get to it. As now we've learned that probably isn't the best process. So if people are joining and they're disappearing, there's something else you need to fix first. Once that's fixed, I'd say marketing's the next step, because there's other things that you can fix as you're marketing. Like, you'll notice there's other problems and you can fix those. If your classes are just crap and they're not keeping people, that needs to be fixed first. Then I'd say you can start looking at marketing. I say to everyone, marketing is the oxygen of your business. It's what's actually going to get people through the door and allow us to continue growing. So for me, I think marketing's like the second most important thing. And then any other issues that arise, you can kind of fix as you're still marketing. What do you think?
I would agree, to be honest, because absolutely retention and what you're teaching or your process of the moment they come through the door is going to be the biggest, because like you say, you can get thousands of people through the door, but if they're walking straight back out, it's not going to help you.
No.
So yes, not everyone's going to stay, because I believe I'm one of the best coaches, like everyone does, but there are people that are not going to gel with me, so I can't please everybody, and I accept that, and I know that. Like,
yes.
We provide a great facility, we provide like the best community, we have really welcoming gym to all levels, families, etc. But there are just people that won't gel with the way I teach, with the personality I have, and that's totally fine. So the market has to be up there near to it, because obviously you're going to lose some along the way, so then you have to refill that. And you get people that obviously move away, they have lifestyle changes, they may lose their job, etc. So you're always going to lose people along the way, which is unfortunate. So the marketing has to be a big priority to get more people through the door, and again, just letting people know who you are and where you are. I always say and I said it on one of the videos I did around marketing, was like, in the BJJ world, like, you've got the greats, like Hodger Gracie is one of the best in the gi. Let's take social media out of it, even though that is a form of marketing. If he opened up a gym and didn't tell anyone, no one would go train with him, because they're like, well, I don't know where he is. So even if you've got the best person at that style of martial art in the world, unless they are telling people where they are, no one's going to come. No. So I'm totally with you. I would put it right up there, along with the product or service you're providing has to be paramount, because like you say, if it's terrible, they're not going to stay.
But also, keynote marketing is, you said it perfectly, just telling people that you're there. So it's not Facebook advertising. That's one way of marketing,
yes.
But it's just telling people. And you can tell people in loads of different ways. You can hand out leaflets, you can tell your students to incentivize them to go and tell more people. You can do Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising. Those are together, but I'll just say them separately. Google ads, SEO, optimize your SEO better. Walk down the street shouting about how great you are. Go to shopping centres and hand out leaflets there and speak to people and take their details and get them booked in for classes. Like, there's so many different ways that you can advertise. So I think a lot of people, they go, well, I haven't got any money to advertise. Like, I just can't afford it at the moment. Well, the only thing that's going to change that is by you getting more members through the door, so you can have more expendable income that you can then put at the advertising. So you've got to get the students. Like, you can't just sit there and go, well, I can't afford to advertise. No, you can't afford to advertise on Facebook, Instagram, and Google ads. There's lots of other ways that you can advertise. It's just about you getting creative of how you're going to tell people that you exist. I'm sure you had times where you didn't have money to advertise on Facebook.
When we started, we did all sorts. We did Facebook, we did flyers, we did just content marketing. So just literally filming classes, filming little techniques, putting them on our social media and then back then it was boost a post, and it would actually get out to people. But just a couple of quid, and that's the thing. I think it at the start, it doesn't have to be really expensive. Like, we would put a couple of quid on an ad just to let people know where we were. And so you catch them in the feed and go, oh, what's this? And then from there, they can go and look at our website. From there, they can go and look at our Facebook, our Instagram page, and we could get organic leads that way. That we built it up along the way. And I think when you talk about the cost as well, people see it as a cost. They don't see the other side of it. They think, oh, I'm spending £300 on Facebook ads a month. Yeah, but how much is that bringing into your gym? Like, when I do a course, yes, we spend about £600 on marketing, but when people sign up to the course, it pays for itself. But they focus for some reason on the number they're spending without recognizing what it's bringing to them. And I think that's a change of mindset is needed, because unless you invest in your own business, like we do it in ourselves, we invest in ourselves, our learning, we pay for classes to get better at martial arts, we pay for courses to learn how to do Facebook ads or running a business. Yet when it comes to spending money on letting people know where you are so they can come to your business, everyone goes, oh, it's a bit much, I don't want to do that. But unless you do that, you're not going to get the message out.
And it's actually very easy to break even with Facebook and marketing, with Facebook marketing. And once again, I'm biased.
Yes.
But when we look at like basic maths of it, like most martial arts schools will spend, if they don't want to spend much money, they'll spend maybe £300 on ads, right? If they want to spend like the low end and kind of get some results, they'll spend £300 on ads. Well, if you're charging let's, for easy maths, just say £50 a month. Well, how many members do you need to get that £300 back in month one? You need like 6.
Yeah.
And you've got that money back. And that's if you're just charging £50 a month. That doesn't include if you have any joining fees, doesn't include if they have to buy a uniform, and then there's profit on the uniform. That's literally just them joining and paying the monthly fee. Yes, some people charge less than that, so they might charge £40, but you can still divide that by 300 by the 40 and get a number that is then the number you need to hit to get that money back. And quite often, it's very fucking easy to hit that number. But if you spend £300, you're expecting you're going to get at least 5 or 6 people, surely, otherwise something's wrong. And if you do get that 5 or 6 people, that money's just been given back to you to give back to Facebook. That's what I say to a lot of martial arts schools. If you're advertising properly, it's not about lifetime value. It's not about us sitting there and going, well, you know, if they join and they stay for 6 months, in 6 months' time, we're going to break even, and then every month after that's profit. It's not about that. If we're advertising properly, we should be bringing in at least the same amount that we're spending on the advertising anyway. So all that's happening is we're giving the money to Facebook, and Facebook's giving us back, and then we're giving the money to Facebook, and Facebook's giving us back. So we're basically breaking even. And for most clubs like yours, where you do like courses and things like that as well, you actually profit in the first month. And then they stay and continue to give you money.
Yes.
So it's about, not looking at it as a cost, looking at it as an investment, but being smart and actually working out the maths on it. Because if you can figure out, oh, I only need 6 members to break even, then just track. Once you've hit that 6, we've won.
I think that's a really good point. And again, it's one thing I've learned in business and changing that mindset. Rather than thinking like, for example, if I need extra coaches, and we tend to pay our coaches as best we can, rather than going, how much is that going to cost me? I'm like, how many members do I need to be able to afford another coach?
Yeah.
And then when you look at it like that, it's a lot easier. You go, oh, I only need 4 members, and that pays for the coach. Like, I'm not looking to earn money out of that. I'm looking to be able to supply a better experience for my students, give someone something back for helping, because when I came through, you didn't get paid to help. You were just like, oh, take this class, take that class. You're like, okay, whatever, yeah, I'll do it. Whereas I like to give back. So, like, if I can then supply it's not life-changing, but it's something that they can learn how to coach, which gives them a life skill, and get a little bit for it. Like, it's a win-win all round. And like I say, when you go, oh, I need 3 or 4 students to do that, it's a lot easier than going, oh, it's going to cost me X amount a month. And you're looking at a negative. You just change it to a positive and go, well, 4 students is not that hard to get. So we'll just get those 4 students, and now we can bring on that next member. So when you change your mindset to that way of thinking, I think it makes it easier to spend that money, because you go, well, oh, I need 10 students, and that pays for the advertising. That's a better way of looking at it than go, it's costing me £300 a month.
Yes, and quite easy. As I said, it's easy to hit that profitable point. Like, when you break it down for a lot of clubs, it's easy to hit that profitable point. And on that point, if it's not easy to hit that profitable point, and you look at it and you're like, fuck, if I spend £300, I need 14 students to break even. I'm never going to get 14 students from £300. Well, then you've just found your real problem. The problem is your prices. So let's increase those prices. Let's maybe add on a joining fee and get it to a point where it's easy to profit. A lot of people look at clubs that are charging £60 a month, £70 a month, £80 a month, and they're like, as if they charge that much, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then you're also in the same breath going, I see their ads everywhere. How can they afford to advertise? They can afford to advertise because their prices are at the right price accordingly. Very easy for them to get that money back when they advertise, because they only need a few students to break even. So they can afford to just keep doing that. If you're charging £20 a month, no joining fee on top, you literally can't afford to advertise, because there's no world that Facebook advertising is actually going to work for you, because you're not going to get that money back in your bank to reinvest. And that's one of the things that shocks people when we do speak to martial arts schools, because I'll tell people that. I'll say, you only charge £20 a month. Facebook ads, as of right now, probably aren't the best thing for you. I'd go and look at your prices first. As there's other marketers out there that will just be like, sound, let's run some ads. But what's going to happen is 3 months down the line, your bank's going to be empty. Yes, you've got 30 students, but you're going to be scratching your head wondering why you're worse off financially, even though the student numbers have gone up. And it's because you weren't priced properly to begin with.
My last video on the channel was literally about pricing and don't undervalue yourself. Because too many, especially in the martial arts world, too many people undervalue their service. And then, like you say, you're scratching around going, I've got these students, but I'm still barely breaking even. What's going on? And it's because they've charged themselves so low that they're not getting paid for the service they're providing. And really important point there, you need to charge. It's not just for the martial arts you're teaching, but the facility you're providing, the ability to be advertising to get the message out there. If you're not adding those costs in, you're going to struggle then to be able to provide a better service or be able to advertise in the first place. So you kind of have to make sure that you're priced accordingly in the beginning. Otherwise, it's going to be a struggle.
And it's a lot easier. You'll know this more than me. It's a lot easier to tell a new person a higher price than it is to try and raise the prices for everyone who's already training at the club. Like, they've already got a value, you know what I mean? If you get, a lot of people say, I'll raise the prices when we get to X members. When you get to X members, you're going to go, they're all already paying £25 a month. I can't go to them and tell them it's now 35 because they're all going to leave and you'll have a new fee. It's a lot easier for you to just raise the prices today for the new people who are coming through the door because they haven't got an old perceived value of how much you charge or anything like that.
100%.
But yeah, that's a bit off topic. But I think pricing is very important when it comes to running ads and doing marketing that actually gets you money back in your bank.
So something that comes up a lot in the business meetings that I've done in the past, and you've probably heard this as well. I believe it's a common misconception, but let's get your opinion on it. Is Facebook dead?
In terms of ads, or in terms of Facebook in general, first thing I'll say is I don't think Facebook will ever be dead because I think it's either 99% or 98% of Facebook's revenue relies on advertisers. So even though Facebook love to make stupid changes, like really stupid changes, I don't think they'll ever do anything that's catastrophic enough to kill its results for advertisers because then advertisers will just leave and go to another platform. I guess the question is, are other platforms better for your money right now? And I would still argue no in terms of for martial arts schools. I haven't saw any evidence that giving money to TikTok and platforms like that are going to get you better results than running ads on Facebook. I still think Facebook ads are the best ads when it comes to push marketing, i.e. putting your ads in front of people who haven't, searched for them, especially when compared to things like TikTok. TikTok still aren't super targeted with their ads. Last time I checked, I might be wrong on this, but last time I checked, you still can't target a specific location when it comes to TikTok ads. TikTok ads, you can put like, I don't know, Manchester or Birmingham or something like that. But you can't specifically go, this is where I want to target 3 miles away from this radius, which means you'll get a lot of leads that will be coming through that will be lower quality. On top of that, people who go to TikTok, they're not going for long form content. They're going to literally skip through video. And there was a study done on this, and they found that short form content creators have the lowest authority over their audience. And it's because the audience don't really have any affinity with them. They don't really like and trust them. They don't have a proper connection with them. And it's because the content that they're watching is so short form. So you've got to think, these are people who they're watching constantly on their feed on TikTok. Your ad that just gets put in front of them for half a second on TikTok, how much affinity are they going to have with you? As Facebook ads, I'm still seeing all around the UK plenty of results for martial arts schools, and I'm seeing them absolutely smash it and get loads of people through the door. So I haven't yet seen that another platform is better than Facebook or Instagram when it comes to advertising. But when it comes to creating content that reaches people for free, I don't think Facebook's the best for it. Facebook's pretty shit. Facebook's goal is to get people to spend money on advertising, so they purposely limit people's reach. If you put posts on your pages, they used to reach loads of people. Now they reach no one. So when it comes to organic reach, I don't think Facebook's the best. But even when it comes to organic reach anyway, for things like TikTok, you can't control who that goes to. So if you put out a piece of content, yes, it might be funny, yes, it might grab the attention of people, but is it going to grab the attention of people in your area? You can't target it. So you could create loads of content, you could get loads of followers, you could get loads of likes. It's not necessarily going to translate into people actually coming through the door. That was a long answer, but my point is, I don't think Facebook's dying. The clubs that we're working with all across the UK are still smashing it. I think we have to adapt and we have to change our strategies. as Facebook changes the way that it wants people to advertise, we have to advertise in the way that it wants us to advertise. But we're very up to date with the changes that come in. And as they come in, we just stick to those changes and we still get great results. I think if you just try and advertise in the same way you did back in 2020, 2019, throw up a boosted post and say comment below and we'll invite you down to a class, it's not going to work. Yeah. But if you change with Facebook, I'm still seeing sick results.
Yeah. I've noticed like the way before I worked with you changed along the way. Like back in the day, putting up an ad saying message, you put up an ad and you would get inundated with messages. And then it was kind of around the time COVID finished, you put up the same ad, nothing. Literally like tumbleweeds, just no messages at all. And I was like, what the hell is going on? This worked perfectly fine before lockdown. And now all of a sudden, nothing. We're not getting anyone. So you hit the nail on the head there. As long as you're kind of staying ahead of the curve and adapting with it, I believe it's going to be around for a long, long time to come. And like your job, if something does become better, I'm sure you'll switch over to that platform as well. So we're in good hands.
No, but that's the thing. As I said, Facebook's revenue relies on this. And for the last 5-10 years, since when I was a kid and I was growing up, like I heard Facebook's dying, only old people go on Facebook, only old people go on Facebook. And people still say now, only old people go on Facebook. But the evidence is Facebook adapts, it's going to change. Also, when I keep saying Facebook, Instagram's also involved within Facebook. Yes. It's Meta as a whole. When you advertise on Facebook, your ads also get pushed to Instagram. So if they weren't working on Facebook, your ads would also get pushed to Instagram. Yes. And then it would just only push on Instagram if it saw those results there anyway. Yeah. So regardless, even if Facebook did start dying off, you would also need Instagram to start dying off. I think unlikely.
I think Facebook was was Facebook before it became Meta, but I think they did something clever because I think Facebook does have a slightly older demographic, and I think they were aware of that, and they were like, Instagram seems to have a younger demographic, let's absorb them in. Yeah. So now we're hitting both. So Facebook will get the older demographic, and the ones that go on Instagram, we're getting the younger demographic as well. So now they've brought it all in-house, so they're hitting both demographics. I would say if you go even younger demographic, that's when you're starting to get on the TikToks and things like that. So for a martial arts business, like I mentioned this in the marketing as well, you kind of need to be where your customers are going to be. And being on TikTok is going to be such a young audience. They're not going to be the ones paying for the lessons. So advertising on TikTok or sending out most of your messages on TikTok is not going to be hitting the parents who are going to be paying for their lessons or the adults who are going to be coming in, because yes, it's getting more prevalent with adults now, but it is definitely, I feel, a very young demographic on TikTok. So knowing where to put yourself to get your audience is the real, the correct way of going about it, I think. And like I say, Facebook now, they've got Instagram, you've got two for the price of one, basically. Yeah,
and it's where you're going to put your time. Because as a business owner, like I know there'll be people watching this angry, thinking, no, TikTok's amazing. Oh, I love TikTok. Like, spend your time on TikTok then, but you can't do all of them. Well, you could, but you're probably going to want to see your wife, and you're probably going to want to see your kids, and you're probably going to want to see your friends. So you can do all of them, but you're probably not going to do all of them well. Yes. So what I would say is, I'd say if you really do want to try all the platforms, try all of the platforms, and whatever works for you, put more of your time and money into. Just for me, I've found that more clubs in the UK have got better results from Facebook and Instagram. So if you're going to start with any, that's what I'd start with. Yeah. But if you also want to try TikTok, and you also want to try another, and you also want to try another, and you also want to try another, you're more than welcome to do that. Because as a smart business owner, you're going to find a one winner, or what the best is, and then you're going to put all your time and effort into making that as optimized as possible, which is fine. Like if you go and try TikTok and you smash it, like, I don't lose any sleep, I'm happy for you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just go and find an advertising strategy that works for you. And if that is TikTok, fine, but from my experience, I found Facebook and Instagram is the best at the moment across the UK.
Yeah. I tend to use the Facebook, Instagram for the marketing, and our TikTok page is for our content marketing. Sending it out there, going, this is what we do, and if it lands on the right person, great. It's another pair of eyes on our gym.
Do you get many from that?
Not particularly. We do. Funnily enough, we do get a few students going, "Oh, that's my gym. I train there." So but from organic customers coming in, no. And I've seen a shift. So we built our business on Facebook. I was up to, I think, over 200 members purely on Facebook alone. That's when they merged with Instagram, and we'd hardly ever get any interest from Instagram. And then all of a sudden, we started getting more and more interest from Instagram. And now I would say it's a pretty even split between the two. So it's certainly shifted from just purely Facebook to now Facebook and Instagram. And maybe one day TikTok will become part of that as well. But for now, TikTok we use as our content marketing, just putting out technique videos and videos of the class and stuff like that. And it just generates eyes on, basically.
Well, that's the thing. If things ever shift, because I'm not anti TikTok, I'm not anti anything. Whatever works the best is what I want to go towards. So if Facebook and Instagram died tomorrow, believe you me, I'd be TikToked on. Like whatever fails or whatever's working best, that's what I want to be going towards. Whatever's working best anyway. So what is smart is, because you're putting out content on TikTok, if you ever do notice that there is a shift on TikTok and all of a sudden it's just only showing your videos to people in this area and you're getting people through the door, you've done well to already build up the follower base, you've done well to already build up the likes, and then you can just push hard on there to get even better results. So I don't think it's dumb. I think it's smart to still do it, because if things ever shift and it does work really, really well, you can then put all your time and attention onto it.
Yes. Yeah. I think what you said about sticking to the ones that are in your kind of area rather than trying to do all of them, because I've been on courses where they're like LinkedIn, Twitter. The problem is you're like you say, if you're not getting any response from those, putting your time and effort, is that not wasted time and effort, but it could be better used going on the platforms you know that are going to get hit. Like LinkedIn, for example, is not one I advertise much of my martial arts academy, but for the podcast and the YouTube channel, I advertise on LinkedIn, because it's more business owners, it's more CEOs, it's more directors, it's going to people that maybe get some use out of this. Whereas like the martial arts business, I'm probably not going to get directors going to be hitting me up to come do a martial arts class, because it's too vast. They could be anywhere. So I spend most of my time for my gym on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. For the YouTube channel, I go on all of them because it's easier to just send out the post to it all. But then it's going to probably get more responses from LinkedIn, from possibly Twitter, than it will TikTok and things like that. So it's knowing where your customer base hangs out and then hitting those ones.
And then be consistent in there. Like even like Facebook groups and things for your martial arts school. Like that's another place where you can roll the dice for free. Like you can literally search all the Facebook groups in your area and drop, hey, this is our club, this is what we teach. Drop a post in there every week. Drop 2 posts in a week, 3 posts in a week. You will get banned eventually. But go across as many of those groups as possible in your area. And it's about being consistent with it. And it's hard to be consistent when you're seeing no result. So if you're doing 10 different platforms and you feel like, oh, the results are crap, you're just going to kill it all off. But if you can just stick to like 2 or 3 and you can just try and be consistent every single week, it's a lot easier to just keep that up.
I think as well, back to our point that we made with the out of 10, where should marketing fit? And we had one as the product, the service. Those local groups are massive. We get loads of people come through from word of mouth on those local groups. When someone says, looking for martial arts classes, everyone's like, I'm getting tagged. I'm like, ping, ping, ping. So if you've got that product top priority, you'll get free advertising from people just telling people about you in the local community. So it's, really good place to get your name out as well. Advertising on Facebook. Let's get into the kind of the details of it. In your opinion, what would be the best type of ad to run? As in lead, link, click a link, or message us below?
So for me, lead forms. For any martial arts learner who hates marketing, that's not what they're going to want to hear.
Yes, because they've got extra work.
Exactly. But a lead form, just to keep it really simple, is a form that runs on Facebook and it gets people's details. So people will click on the ad, they'll see your club, they'll think they're interested, they'll click on the ad, and then they'll give you their name, their email address, and their phone number. Now, from there, you're going to have to contact that person and get them booked in. The problem with just having name, email address, and phone number, as you know yourself, is you're going to get some people who say, I accidentally clicked on the ad. I'm 92 years old. Why are you bothering me? Because they've accidentally clicked on it. Or you'll get even better. I never clicked on your ad. Where have you got my contact details? And you'll get a bunch of people who will waste your time. Now, the problem with that is if you're doing it all manually, you're going to call these people. You're going to hear that 2 or 3 times. And you're going to go, I'm not calling anyone ever again. I'll just drop them a text message. I don't want the drama of this. So what's better especially if you don't have any systems in place, you're doing it all yourself, is run a lead form, get name, email address and phone number, and then ask a couple questions as well. So the questions we like to ask are, if it's an adult class, we'll ask, have you ever done martial arts before? And then we'll give them a few options. Yes, no, yes when I was younger. If it's a kids class, we'll ask them, how old is your child? And then we'll give them the options. If their child's younger than 4 and the classes start at 4, we won't give them an option that's younger than 4, so they can't become a lead. We'll also ask, what benefits are you hoping that our classes can actually help you with? And then one of my favourite questions to ask is, if I phone you, will you actually answer the phone? And then we'll ask those questions, and then when they become a lead, we can then contact them. Now, what's going to happen when you do that is you're going to get less leads come through, but the quality of those leads are going to be better. So instead of getting 3 to 5 leads a day, maybe you only get 2 a day, or maybe you only get 1 a day. But you'll know that that person actually has a child that's the age range that you wanted, actually has benefits that the Hope in Your classes can actually help that child with, and then potentially have also told you that they're actually going to have a conversation with you or get booked in. So then when you phone them, you're going to be able to have a proper conversation with them and get them booked in. What a lot of marketing agencies do is they try and get you as many leads as possible. You don't want that. Even if you're running the ads on your own, you don't want that. You don't want as many leads as possible. You want as many quality leads as possible. You want people that you can call that are actually going to engage in a conversation and get booked in. You'll still get some weirdos who for some reason like to fill out forms. But if we can still eradicate as many of those weirdos as possible, it means that you can spend time having proper conversations with people who are actually interested and get them booked in. That's kind of what we run. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the thing. Like, yes, you're always going to have people that click it. We have it just this week. I was just being nosy, filled out the form. It's like, okay, but that's just wasting everyone's time.
Yes.
But you've got to get through those, because at the end of the day, especially in the martial arts industry and even in another business, you have a product or service that can help someone.
Yeah.
And it's worth dealing with those people to just move them to the side and go, okay, thanks, but try not to fill it out if you see it again. But then you could help someone that's being bullied.
Yes.
Or you could help someone that's having severe anxiety. It's worth going through those shit calls to get to those people and go, do you know what? We are what you need. Come and see us.
Yes. Let me really quickly as well, just on the question that you asked, say why the other ones don't work. Because what's going to happen is someone's going to watch that and they're going to go, yeah, Donovan said lead form, but nah, I'm going to do this instead. Now, the reason why I don't like the other ways of advertising, they can work, is if you send someone to your website to book a class, that's fine. And if it works, it's amazing, because it means that they can just book a class on your website. You don't have to follow up with them. You don't have to put in any work. You're going to get less bookings than you would if you did lead forms, but you haven't got to call anyone, you haven't got to text anyone. So I see why it's attractive. The problem is, if it doesn't work and people don't book, you don't know why. So if you run ads that are lead forms and people fill out the form and then you contact them and they say, why are you contacting me? You're 10 miles away from me, or you're 15 miles away from me, and you keep having that, it's annoying. But then you can go, who the hell's running this ad? Why are the ads targeting so far? And then you can go back to the ad and you can make the relevant changes to fix it. Yes. If you're getting 95-year-olds becoming leads, thinking you do some sort of Tai Chi, then you can go, why do they think I'm doing Tai Chi? And why are 95-year-olds seeing this ad? Go back to the ad, make the relevant changes. As if people are going to your website, landing on the website and then disappearing, they haven't told you why they didn't book. Yeah. Is it because the website's confusing? Is it because the writing on the website looks confusing? Is it because they've realised that you're too far away from them? Is it because it's 95-year-olds who are looking for Tai Chi? You don't know, so you're not getting that feedback loop to help you understand why it's not working. So that's why I don't like websites. Messenger ads, if they don't work, you don't know why they're not working, you're not getting any messenger messages, obviously. But then if they do work and work really well, all of a sudden your Facebook Messenger box, as you've probably had before, is swamped. Yes. And then somehow you've got to filter through every single one of these people manually. Yeah. You'll reply to some of them who won't message you back. You'll forget then to follow up with them because now your friends just messaged the same page. And then it just makes everything confusing and it makes it really, really hard to track. So that's why I don't like Messenger. And then don't even get me started on putting an ad up for someone to call you. Like, what if you're busy? So for me, lead forms are the best because it means you can get their details, you can actually contact them, you can even put some automations in place as well for like automated emails and text messages and things to make your life easier. Lead forms are the best. I'm sure some of you guys are still going to go and do something else. But if it doesn't work, go to lead forms.
Really good point there about the call button. If you're busy, you can't pick up. That might be the only time. They may be having severe anxiety about making that call.
Yes.
You don't pick up and they go, oh, thank God, I'm never going to make that call again. On ours, when they fill out the lead form, we actually automate a booking form for them that they can book a phone call with us.
Yes.
So we'll call them anyway, but we have a time frames that they can book. And if they book on, they 100% always pick up because they know they've scheduled that call themselves. So one, we know it's qualified. Two, we know they're definitely going to pick up.
Yeah.
And if they book a call, they're generally, I would say probably 9 out of 10, if not all of them, book onto a trial.
Brilliant.
So like, it's much better way than getting them to call you straight away, because like you say, you could be in the middle of a class, middle of a PT, you can't pick up, and if they're struggling with anxiety already, they're not going to make that call again.
And then you're going to come to your phone, just see a random number and go,
yes, sales, no, yes, 100%. Question here then, where do people go wrong when advertising, specifically in your field on socials?
People go wrong in loads of ways. The first way is they don't use lead forms. So when they advertise, they'll go and send people to the website, because what they're trying to do, I guess the overall issue is they are trying to make it easier for themselves, not easier for the prospect. Mm-hmm. If you want as many bookings as possible and you want as many people to come through the door as possible, you need to make the whole process from start to finish as easy as possible for the person who's booking. Mm-hmm. So they don't want to go through a really long form and have to book on and become a member on your app before they can come through the door. Mm-hmm. There's loads of things they don't want to do that you think the best people are going to do, but they're not. A lot of people are just going to look at some of the things you try and get them to do and go, I'm not doing it. But a lot of clubs, I noticed, they're trying to make the whole process easier for themselves and not the prospect. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to send people to a booking page without answering any of their questions, because I don't want to have to keep talking to people. They're trying to get people to book onto this app and give them payment details and everything before they come through the door, because when they come through the door, then it's going to be easier to actually get them signed up. And the problem is a lot of people are being selfish in the way they're advertising and thinking about how they can make it easier for themselves, and they're not thinking about how can they make the process easier for the person coming through the door. Mm-hmm. I'd say that's probably the number one issue I see. Because I've got YouTube videos where I show people step by step, this is how you launch Facebook ads, do this, click this button, use this form, do this, do that, whatever. And I get messages all the time from people saying, we're smashing it, we've used your videos, brilliant. And then I also get messages from people who go, I tried your video, it didn't work. And I'll go, quickly send me over your ad, let me have a look. And I'll click on it, within 5 seconds I can see they've sent people to the website instead of using a form. Yeah. And I'll go, well, the video said use a form, yeah. So why have you used a website? And they'll go, yeah, but I don't want to call people, so I've just sent them there. Well, you haven't used the proven concept that I gave you. Yeah. You've gone and tried you've looked at the proven concept and gone, okay, Donovan said this, but how can I make it easier for myself? Yeah. And it's not about you. It's about how can we make it easier for the prospect. That's what I'd say is the biggest problem when it comes to advertising.
Perfect. This kind of leads into the next question really quite well. How important is systems and follow-up processes?
More important, almost more important than the advertising itself. Facebook ads are great, Instagram ads are great, TikTok ads might be great. But if we're getting people's contact details, you're going to need to contact them. You're obviously going to need to phone them. You're going to need to drop them a text message. If they don't answer, you're going to want to phone them again. You're going to need to send a text message again. You're going to want to send an email. You're going to want to send a WhatsApp. You need to chase these people down to get them to engage. Now, a lot of club owners will look and go, I'm not doing all of that. Or if they didn't reply to my first message, they're clearly not really interested. But that isn't the case. And I'd say you can do one of two things. You can either phone, text, email, WhatsApp everyone manually. If you're getting 20 leads a week and you're messaging every single one of them 6 times, you're sending 120 messages, add that on top of phone calls and things like that, that's going to be a lot. Or you can look at getting systems in place that do all of that automatically for you. So I know for you, for example, what is the process when we get leads for you from our Facebook ads? What actually happens to that lead?
So we've got a dedicated person that chases up our leads. The lead form comes through. It comes through to our system, our CRM system. It notifies me and Shelley, who will then contact the lead. But before she contacts them, because let's say it comes in on a Friday night, for example, she may not get to the phones till Monday. They get a series of emails and WhatsApp messages, giving them a little bit more information, giving them the option to book their call so they can pick a time that works well for them. And it'll, we can set it up pretty much however we want. We do send one that gives them the welcome pack as well, which gives them more information and just keeps them interested until we can get onto the phones to them. And then Shelley will follow up with phone calls. She will then speak to them. If she can't get hold of them, she'll leave a message. Then she'll also send them another WhatsApp to say, hi, I tried to call you. I'll give you a call another day. And then I can't remember the exact timings, but we do about 3 phone calls and then it goes to email, automated emails just to say, are you still interested? And then it'll go to like a 6 monthly where we'll just check in with them, see if they're interested in coming in for a trial or just following up with them, just to try and keep the interest there.
And the beauty of that as well is there's going to be a lot of people who inquire for your classes who are inquiring because they're not very confident or they've got anxiety, as you said. And them filling out that form to them was actually a huge step. And part of them almost hopes you don't contact them because them taking the next step is going to be even scarier for them. And if that comes through Friday evening, Shelley's busy and she can't contact them till Monday because that's when she's back in, this person's had the whole weekend to talk themselves out of doing this. As when you've got systems and things in place, they've filled out that form, they were feeling anxious when they filled out the form, and immediately, as soon as they filled out that form, they've got a text message that says, or a WhatsApp message that says, hi, really happy to see that you've filled out our form. We'd love to get you booked in for a class, but before we do, have you got any questions? And then they can then unload those questions over to you, and then Shelley can pick it up on Monday. So that's why automations are important as well, because it means that that person can be contacted at the height of their interest before they start talking themselves out of it, which a lot of people do. And then you're going to call them on Monday if you didn't have any automations, and they're going to go, I didn't fill out the form. Where'd you get my details?
That's so true, because when we first started the process, when I was still learning the CRM system, we didn't have that, because I had Shelley to contact them, and she does work weekends as well, and she'll pick up the phones at the weekend, but sometimes when she goes away, obviously it may be 2 or 3 days before we get any contact with them, and I was like, that's not good, because that's 3 days of them sitting there going, oh my God, what have I just done? Like, or by the time it gets to the call, they're like, oh, I'm not really interested anymore. Whereas, like you say, if you hit them at peak interest, send them more information, a little video of yourself going, listen, I bet you're absolutely petrified, don't worry, it's going to be fine. You just put them at ease straight away, and then they're like, I'm actually looking forward to the call now. Just get there straight away before they have time to get inside their own head and start talking themselves out of things.
And it's about having automations as well that are human. Do you know what I mean? Like, people still don't want to be hit with automated messages. If people can smell that it's automated or a robot or whatever, they're not going to want to engage even when you do phone them. So it's also about doing automations that actually seem human and how a person would write. I see some people where they've got automations in place, they've only got emails, and then you read the emails and the emails are like, hey, blah, 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 do you know what I mean? And then a massive paragraph that's like this.
It's not
and
personal.
It doesn't look real and it doesn't look personal. You want your automations as well to look like you genuinely care, and they're written in a way where it looks like a person has actually wrote it. It's not just like a CRM template.
Absolutely, 100%. When advertising, how important is testing?
Testing is it's only important if you want to get results. If you're happy to just give Facebook money, then it's not important. Most of the martial arts schools that work with us, their best performing ads are things they don't even like. Like they'll look at it and go,
that's us. I hate that, but it works the best.
and that's why testing's important, because what you're going to do as a business owner is you're going to go, I like that picture, everyone else will like that picture, that's the best picture we've ever took in this club, and that's what our ad is going to be. And then you'll throw up the picture and then it doesn't work. Or you'll look at the video and you'll go, that is a brilliant video, it shows how good we are here, and you'll throw up the video and then it doesn't work. And what's going to happen is that you're then going to feel a bit sad. you're going to be like, Facebook ads don't work, because if the best picture doesn't work, then no pictures are going to work. And then you'll come away from it. But what we get clubs to do, obviously I've got videos where I actually show people step by step how to do it. But what we teach people to do is instead of throwing up one ad and spending £15 a day, throw up 5 ads and split that £15 between all of them. Spend like £3 a day on all of them. And take a picture that you love. Take a video that you love. Take a video you don't like. Take a picture that you don't like. We've got one ad where it's just a square image and it just says on it, I don't know, come and train with us. Click the button below. Works amazing. Take a video yourself in the club talking to the camera and saying, hey, come on down to our classes, and just post all of them. And then don't have any emotion towards any of them. And 3 or 4 days later, turn off the ones that are doing crap and leave on the ones that are doing good. And what that does is it makes sure that you find the best ad for the prospects in your area, instead of just choosing an ad and being biased. My best favourite videos that I've ever launched as Facebook ads for my business did terrible. Every video that I look at and I go, that is sick. That is definitely going to work. I launch it and it doesn't work. And then I'll launch a video that's me just holding my phone, walking down the road, going, hey, martial arts learners, come and work with us. Press go. I'll put it on ads and it smashes it. Like, it's not about what I like, it's about what my audience like. And it's the same as a martial arts school. It's about what your audience like. And the only way to find that is by trying more than one thing. What have you found?
Well, the reason why I asked that question, because I feel like a lot of people, I've learned about testing along the way of learning how to run Facebook ads and also working with yourself. But I feel like a lot of people, they're already dubious about Facebook, whether because of the cost or because it constantly changes, and they go, okay, I'm going to do it. Do a Facebook ad. They go, that didn't work. Useless. Waste of time. But they've done one ad, and like you say, they may be like, that's our best picture. But what I've learned, as you've learned, is what we like is not necessarily what our customers like. Like I've done t-shirts and things, and I think that looks banging, and then I put it out to the members and go, which one do you want? And they all pick the one I didn't like. I'm like, oh, okay, just me then. So you do that ad thinking it's the best ad you've ever done, and I'm speaking from experience working with you. The ad that I hated doing the most was me talking, going, oh, this is Atlas Martial Arts, come on down for a trial. I watched it back, and when I used to see it come up on Facebook, I'm like, mute it quick. Because like, I will sell martial arts because I love the benefits, but when I'm selling myself, I just feel like I'm really like cringe. And it's been our best performing ad.
Yeah, by far.
And had we not worked with you, I never would have done that.
No.
And our advertising would have suffered because of it. Because I didn't like it and I was outside my comfort zone, it's not something I would have looked at.
No.
Whereas you were like, Dean, do this, it performs really well. I did it, watched it, and was like, oh, I even sent it to you. I was like, I don't think this is very good, but if you want to use it, and it's absolutely smashed it. And and another really important thing for people as well, like with testing, and it goes back to our point about knowing how Facebook works in the first place. Because when we first worked together in May, pretty much for the whole of May was testing month.
Yeah.
We didn't start getting results till the end of the month, and then all of a sudden something just switched. Our leads went through the roof, our cost per lead went shooting down. Had I not known the process after a couple of weeks, and I even said this to you, like, I'm in for this, don't worry about it. It's like, we'll figure it out. Had I not known the process, I would have been like, Donovan, this is not working. Why am I spending all this money and nothing's happening? Because I understand the process of we need to test first to find out what works. Because really importantly as well, area by area, different things work.
Yeah.
Like, this area is not a built-up area. Things that tend to work, or I've seen work in kind of cities, doesn't tend to work here. And again, if I didn't know how Facebook worked and the process of testing the ads, making sure we find the right one that works for us in our area, I could have jumped ship and gone like, oh no, that doesn't work. Donovan doesn't know what he's talking about. But because I knew the process and because I knew about testing and I know the importance of testing, it's like, no, we're gonna like when I jumped on board with you, 3 months, we're gonna test this for 3 months. If we get the results, we'll stick with you. If not, we'll look at something else. And within a month, all of a sudden, like I said, it just clicked and you found the right test, the right ad.
Yep.
And ever since then, it's just been really good.
And you're nothing like your audience as well. Like, that's what a lot of club owners need to realise. Like, how many days a week do you train?
Yeah, every day.
How fucking ridiculous is that?
Yeah.
Yes. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, like, why doesn't everyone train every day?
Look, that's weird. Like, do you know what I mean? That's not a normal thing.
Yes.
So, and how inclined martial artists are towards enjoying exercise. Like like it is actually weird. So we think that by putting a certain ad out there, we're going to attract people who are going to come and love to try jiu-jitsu, whatever, right? But we need to think about who are we actually trying to attract. We're trying to attract people who currently, not future, eventually they'll love it and they'll go on to train, maybe even they'll go on to compete. But at the moment, they're riddled with anxiety. Their confidence is really low. They might be at the pub acting confident, but deep down, they're not sure in who they actually are. And they've got all these things that the average person has that you probably don't have. Like, you'll have it deep down. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, you know, I don't feel confident today. I'm going to push through, whatever. But some of these people really aren't confident. They really are, you know, very anxious. And they're nothing like how you are. So by putting out ads that you like, you're putting out what would attract someone like you.
Yeah.
But these beginners aren't like you. Eventually, maybe they will be. But at the moment, they're not. They don't enjoy exercise. Their taste of exercise is going to the gym, running on the treadmill for 20 minutes, getting a Mackey's on the way home, and getting home, eating it and feeling sad that they haven't lost any weight yet. Yeah. Like, that's their taste of exercise. So by putting out different things, eventually we're going to find the thing that they actually gel with. And when you did that video, they see you're a real human who genuinely cares about what you do. You're talking about the benefits that they actually care about. You know, come on down, we're going to help you feel more confident, do this, this, and this. And they're watching it and they're like, oh, you know, it's not a big scary gym. Like, it's just this guy who seems nice, and I'm gonna become a lead and possibly come down. So I think another reason why we have to test is because the ads that you like aren't going to work, but the reason they're not going to work is because your audience are nothing. The people who you actually want to get through the door are actually nothing like you. So you're going to have to just guess a few different things before you find the thing. And you said you never would have tried that video. The reason we tried that video is because I know that video works from testing, and I know that it's something that works really, really well because it lets people actually see you as opposed to just Atlas martial arts, which might look scary for someone who has never been through doors before.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. So just one last question before we wrap up. I'm going to link your stuff in the description, like I said at the start, because when I first started following you, you gave out loads of free stuff that literally how to build an ad. And I started doing bits like that just to build on what I already knew. So if you can give people a little kind of general overview of what you do, your marketing company, the name of your marketing company, I know Drow. So just let people know what it is you do.
Cool. So we help martial arts schools add more members to their classes using mainly Facebook and Instagram advertising. Now, my aim, and it's been my aim now for probably the last 2 or 3 years, is to create more free content than any other marketer out there. But not just free content that actually helps people. Like, I want people to come across my stuff, use it, and it actually grow your club. And then you can sit there and go, do I want to work with Donovan? Or would I rather just do it myself? And if you'd rather just do it yourself and continue using my free content, I want that to actually be an option. My aim is to help literally more martial arts schools than I can even physically think of the number for free. I genuinely want people to come across my stuff and I want them to use it and I want it to genuinely benefit them. I see all the time people using my ads, my ad copies, and I've never spoke to them. I don't even know who they are. But then they'll message me one day and say, Donovan, I've been using your stuff for the last 3 months and honestly, I was at 25 members. I'm in a little sports hall. I was at 25 members thinking about just closing it down and now I'm at 52 and the sports hall's now full and I'm going to have to put on another night. And messages like that, I fucking love it. So my point is, in the link, if you could put my YouTube channel.
Yes.
The content on there is not designed to sell you something. Like, it's not. It's designed to genuinely help you. So if you're stuck when it comes to marketing, you're stuck when it comes to Facebook advertising, you're stuck when it comes to just getting more people through the door, like, the content on there is genuinely designed to help with exactly that problem. Yes, we've got paid services. I'm not going to advertise those services. Literally, just check out my free content. Try that. My name's Donovan Wint on YouTube. Check it out.
Perfect. I just finish on that, and that's exactly how we came to work with each other. I like I said, I knew about you for a long time. I then signed up to your free group and was looking at the content, and not once did I feel like I was being pressured to buy anything. It was just like, this works. It's there for you. If you want to use it, great. If not, fine as well. If you want to work with us, this is how you do it. And I probably was watching and using your stuff, or certainly learning your stuff for a good, I'd say 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I reached out to you and said, Donovan, I think we should work together, and I want to give it a test. And that's what we did. And now it's led to this podcast, which has been really good. And I hope everyone gets something out of this. I'll also put the little call link. So if people are at the level where they think that you'd be right fit for them, then they can click on that link and book a call with you. And hopefully you can help them as much as you've helped us. And let's hope this relationship grows and grows.
Amazing.
And we fill the gym. We're almost there, to be fair. So yeah, as soon as we fill it, it'd be even better. We'll maybe start looking for a bigger place.
No. Last thing as well, like my aim, as I said, isn't to sell anyone anything, but if you have learned or tried to learn how to run Facebook ads before, you know, you're spending a lot of money on Facebook ads and you're feeling like you're not getting any results. I've spoke to loads of martial arts schools where they've done that process for 2 years. They've spent tens of thousands of pounds just trying to guess, and it hasn't worked. I know it's not about cheap, it's about value, but regardless if you work with me, regardless if you go and work with another marketer, it would still serve you better to go and pay to learn the skill, to do it properly, than it would for you to do another year or two of just guessing it and just throwing money at Facebook. Because Facebook, I promise you, they will not send you a message saying, please stop spending money, you're not getting results. Like, they'll let you keep spending.
Yes.
So if you have to, invest in the skill of learning it properly, if everything else isn't working for you, just because that would actually be the better return on investment route.
Yep. Donovan, thank you very much.
No problem.